God transformed my trading in a very different way from every single one else. For me, it was all about me learning from my struggle. Yes, everybody learns from their struggle, but I had to improvise. I had to find ways and means not to slack off. And that was because my beginning was very hard, you know. Or let me say, I had a very good beginning, but continuing that way would have actually destroyed me. If I had actually became rich within the first 2 years of trading, I would have definitely not or might not have, you know, had any intentions of seeing God as who He was, because that was when I actually backslided from church. So everything just kind of seemed weird. If you see me looking around here, that's because I'm looking at myself because I'm connected to my computer. So I backslided then, and it was actually a very bad moment for me. So I saw every single one, everything around me not to be trustworthy, every single thing, and I felt bad for myself because you know it is actually a moment that I have to learn and unlearn. You have to force yourself because I felt like no one believed in me. That was not because I was trading forex, because nobody actually knew I traded forex. But that was because of something else, and that had to do with family related issues and a whole lot. So there was a whole lot of pull and pressure on me that I had to overcome during those times. Now, you see, and that was when God just came into my life and was like, wisdom is not from humans, it's not from the human strength, and it's only God that can actually give us wisdom. I knew all this while I was before I could even start trading, because yeah, I have been part of Christian leadership and I have done this whole lot. So I really knew all this, but I just kind of ignored it. But yeah, I started seeing dreams. I started feeling it. I started to hear my intuition speaking. I started to feel my guts telling me that I have to do this, I have to do that. There's a whole lot in my life. So it is actually something that I sometimes don't want to talk about because it is really an in-depth situation. If I talk about this, it can take us almost an hour. Yes, that particular 1 hour video is coming. There's not going to be any edits, and I'll talk about this over and over again and make sure I say the whole thing of how everything happened. Now, this is what many traders do. Many traders actually rely on their skills, their charts, and their analysis. But true wisdom comes from God. And that is what I want you to know. If you read the book of James chapter 1 verse 5, what does it say? It says, um, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask God, that giveth to all men liberally. So you 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 literally have to just pray. I remember there's this particular verse, I think either First Thessalonians or Second Thessalonians. It says that second, I think verse chapter 5 verse 17. It says, "Pray without ceasing." The moment you stop praying, everything in your life feels like nothing. Sometimes you be like, "I don't believe in God," but then when something happens, you'll be like, "God, help me." In your mind, like it's more like you tell people that you don't believe in God, but you know within you that you can't do anything without God. That's how it is. I got to that point of I nearly even told people that I don't believe in God. Yes, I even went wayward. A whole lot of things changed in me. Somewhat from 2020, 21, a whole lot of things, even 22 beginning, a whole lot of things changed. Thankfully, I had people around me. That's why it's good to surround yourself with people that are of the same faith with you, so that when you backslide, they remind you of where you come from and they push you back into who you are and why you are here and why you should be here, or like it just a kind of a joyful moment that when you have people to pull you back from your wrongdoings and correct you again, it's always very good. So I suggest you have that circle. As a trader, be in a circle where when you are making mistakes on your analysis, they correct you. And also as a Christian, be in that particular cycle too as well. Okay. So Acknowledge that your transformation began when you stopped relying on only yourself and sought God's wisdom. Yes, this point is very important. Don't just think that you can do it without God. And people will be like, Forex doesn't have anything to do without God and all those things, blah, blah, blah. What's that, bro? Like what I'm talking about. Forex has to do with money. And in the Bible, we know that the root of evil is what? Money. That doesn't mean that money is evil. No, the root of it is money. But money itself is not evil. Money is not evil, but the root of evil is what? It's money. So now you might say, why should it be the root and not be and itself not being evil? I can be the root of evil, but I'm not the devil. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. I might have caused something to happen because of my ill intent, but I myself, I am not that kind of person who you see to do that. And definitely, if I am being used the right way, or if I did it the right way, it wouldn't have become evil. So that is just what I'm trying to say. Now, another point I want to talk about is discipline and patience. So this one, I think you already know. If you are not disciplined in Forex, you can't even do anything. Just go and sleep. You need to rest. Because Forex comes to discipline. If you don't have discipline in Forex, you're just wasting your time. No matter what you want to say about this, if you actually don't, you know, discipline yourself in Forex, you are going to just mess the whole thing up. You're just going to mess the whole thing up. You need discipline. Okay. And uh, if you want to learn more about discipline and patience, go and read about the fruits of the spirit in the Bible, somewhere Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. Check those areas. Okay, let me give you, I think I even have some that I've written here. Bible reference should be around Galatians chapter 5, 22 to 23. I remember my SHS Bible teacher who actually taught me this. So, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. There are plenty, okay, but this is not just only it. These are the fruit of the or like of the Spirit, but it goes even deeper. Learn more about the fruit of the Spirit. It is very important. Fruit of the Spirit is something like it is a way of life. It's a look. It's how do I even stress this enough? It is a way to teach you how to live life. It will teach you how to be merciful. It will teach you how to be patient. To teach you how to love. It will teach you how to be disciplined. The moment you know how to love, the moment you know how to find peace, even love alone, if you know how to love, patience follows. And the moment patience follows, everything else follows. Or love alone just brings the rest. Without love, forget about the rest. If you don't have love, you don't have joy, you don't have peace, you don't have gentleness, you don't have goodness, you don't have faith, you don't have meekness. Nothing. Without love, your life is just miserable. But the moment love comes first and the other things follows, discipline itself will come naturally. You don't even need to force it. But if you don't let love lead, you are definitely going to be miserable in your life. God transformed your trading by teaching you patience and self-control. So it is more like I I had like I had to see that the transformation that I had was from God and not me. You know, He taught me self-control and patience. Everything was just quite the way He wanted it. Faith over fear. This one, I don't want to agree to it, but that is the truth. That is the truth. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of what? Sound mind. Timothy 1:7, 2 Timothy 1:7. This one, I can't just stress this enough. God has not given us the spirit of fear, okay, but of power, love, and sound mind. This is very important. You are scared of losing. Losing what? What actually? The money that is the root of the evil, you are scared of losing it. For what reason? Okay, it's just it just doesn't make sense sometimes. If you follow the Bible, you follow the like biblical principles. I used to tell some people that kingdom principles actually make those who don't even believe in God succeed because The moment someone feels pain, they are trying to make it regardless of what happens. So they use every single sweat that they can drop to make money. If they are going to be on the sun and get that money, they do it. So the first stage of suffering is just the beginning stage. The second stage of suffering, you can even be under your roof and be making money. You might still be suffering by then, but then you pass that particular first stage. The first stage is always the most difficult part. The second stage is just you probably now you might be working hard, but it's not now going to be of sweat. It's not going to be like you're going to be on the sun or anything like that. No, that's not going to be the case. You can even have your mansion and be inside it. Now the third phase of suffering, that one I'll not call it suffering. That's the third phase of riches. It's more like you are now calm, everything is working, and you don't even need to stress yourself because you have systems that are working for you. So those things actually that's how it is. The moment you are able to eliminate fear and you are able to let faith lead, as long as you're doing the right thing, by the way, don't go and be doing the wrong thing and think that faith is going to help you. You are going to lose everything you have, and don't also risk money you can't afford to lose. So you have to use faith and you have to use your brain to work with it. So like everything just goes with it. So transformation came when I actually started trading with faith in God's guidance, instead of instinct. Yeah, sorry, instead of panic. Like you see a trade going up, you see price going up, and you're like, oh, to buy it to sell, to buy it to sell, bro. What's going to buy it to sell? uh, is that what your trading rules are telling you? You just need to put some of these things into perspective. Ask yourself, is that what the trading rules are telling you? You are saying to buy to sell, and you are scared, you are panicking. Why? Why not just let it go? Trading, you already know that trading comes. There are certain moves I saw when I started trading that I am seeing more bigger moves than it, and I'm like, oh. So when they used to say that the move will come, the move will come. So this is it. I used to be scared of news, but sometimes I didn't even look at news, but then price just goes my way. I remember one day I was sleeping, not even one day, multiple times I'll be sleeping and then price will just come and take my entry and go straight to TP. Sometimes it's just a sniper entry. I think that I don't know whether okay, I'll be dropping a particular either I'll be dropping a particular video or I've already dropped it. I don't know when this video will drop. So this particular chart, I actually slept. That was one of the last moments. I slept and price came and tapped into my entry and phew, it's gone. News trade. I didn't even have to do anything. With all the spread, I still had a sniper entry. That's how it should be. Like you shouldn't be scared. And contentment and greed. Bro, I can't stress this enough. Many traders blue accounts from greed and chasing profits. Oh my god. How do I say this? Uh but godliness with content is what is great. So it's more like you are actually content with what you have. You no matter how little it is, the profit that you get, you're actually okay with it. You close your trades, you don't even care whether the profit that are going to come will be more or less. The moment you do that, I remember in 2023, yeah, 2023, if I can remember correctly, I think 2023, I passed my 5K, one of my 5K accounts that was funding pips. This particular account, I had traded it for several months. And if you look at the progress and how it is, it was not 1 to 3 targets. It was less than that. It was even less than 1 to 2. They used to say 1 to 2 is the bare minimum, or 1 is 1.5. Some were even less than that. I will just make some small profit that I close. I was okay. Sometimes 1% and I'm done for the day. Sometimes $10 and I'm done for the day. I don't care. But that small little progress was a lot. Now it was very difficult for me to lose because anytime I see small profit, I just close and I'm done for the day. I don't trade again. That's the kind of discipline level that I had. Now it took me over some several days to make over $400. And if you look at this particular $400 in Ghana here, people can make that in that short span of time. Was it 3 months or was it 4 months? I can't remember exactly, but nobody can make that money like in a short span of time, just going to work and coming back. It's not everybody. Maybe government workers that make 5,000 Ghana cedis, that's a different situation. But as I did, dollar was 17 Ghana cedis. So multiply 17 by that's like 1,700. How much is a diplomat teacher's money? Just leave it small to read some diplomat teacher's money. And I made that in the span of 3 months. How many government workers is going to get that? So it's it's like all of the top ranking officials, or let me say degree holders, some nurses, some degree and above. I was making more. It's just funny. It's funny how we we let greed and all those things lead. You don't have to be content with what you have and let greed be out of the window. Don't just add it at all. Okay, I want to write these things up to just make sure I cover all this point that I have here to give you guys what I'm actually having at. I had to scrape this. I had to go through this to make sure that you guys get the best. But I'll still come back. It will be maybe an hour long, and I want you to watch every bit of it. Now, stewardship of money. Trading is not just making money, it's what stewardship. I don't know if you know what stewardship means, but you will understand it if I quote this particular quotation. First Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. And it says, moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Okay, it is what? Required in what? In stewards that a man be found faithful. So this actually, how do I put this for your own understanding? I don't know, but we spoke about faithfulness, like faith over fear. I don't know how to put this one and you understand. Okay, let me just give you the definition of stewardship so you get what I mean, like what I'm saying. Give me a moment. So, okay, stewardship is fundamentally the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. It involves ethical planning, supervision, and managing of resources, whether they are natural, financial, spiritual, or communal. Um, there is this there's this Bible story, the three wise men. No, not the three wise men. Was it the three wise men or what was that? I think so. I don't know if I can remember the quotation exactly, but it is a story of a king who was traveling and decided to give um, money to his three elders, right? And told them that they should keep it. One said the king was greedy and was blah blah blah, so he buried the money and like kept it safe. No interest was being added on that money. When the king came back, he told the king that I know you are this, you are that, you are that, then he gave the money back to him. The second person actually tried and made some profits on it. Like he kept it in a bank, and I think some profit was coming out of some interest and all. Then when the chief came, he gave the money back to the person. Then the other person, he actually risked the money and he made a lot. Now, after the king had studied all of them, not knowing the king actually was going to give them kingdoms, and they all got what they deserved. I will try and get a story and put it in the description, or I'll just try and make sure that you guys have a view of it. I don't want this video to get too long because obviously it is actually 17 minutes already, and I don't really want it to get this long. So, getting to the closure of this, I'll try my best and see if I can actually give you that particular quotation or that particular chapter. Now, God taught you to treat trading as managing his resources, not yours. So it's more like you, God. This one is even more like beyond how I can explain it. I personally understand it, but how to relate it. And like Albert Einstein says, if you can't explain it to a 7-year-old, you actually don't understand it. So, me now, I might have to relook at this again and maybe do my own research moreover before I come out with this one. Now, peace in losses and in wins. This one, you'll be hearing it a lot. Transformation also shows in how you handle losses instead of despair. You trust God's plan. This is not just only about trusting God's plan, but as a trader, if you win, be calm. If you lose, be calm. Treat every single trading position as as a lesson, whether be it win or loss. You are going to document it. Even if you don't document it, make sure that you are seeing it as a lesson, or you don't react, so that when you lose bigger, you don't even feel it. It is a way of emotional control. That is the self-control we spoke about when I said when I spoke about was it First Timothy? Let's go back to it. That was good. That was Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love. No, not this one. The fruit of the spirit, actually, not this one. The fruit of the spirit was in Galatians chapter 22, verse 23, to 23, chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. So that one, he has given us what? Gentleness, Oh, okay. So yeah, it is actually for God have not given us the spirit of fear. Yes, good. That's it. So that's it. So about of power, love, and sound mind. Sound mind. You see, sound mind. Timothy speaks about his sound mind. Now let's go to the next second one. So let's go to the last one, and one of the most purposeful and great ones. Purpose beyond money. So building success isn't just for wealth, but for glorifying God. Okay, and blessing others. So this one, I think. Sorry, this one I think I have to. Uh, we'll talk more about this, but because even though I don't want to agree with it, but that is the case. All right. Now you might be like, why don't I want to agree? I don't want to agree because me per se, it's not just about glorifying God, but I added this point because blessing others is also very important. The moment you become successful, you don't even need to bless them. They are being blessed by just seeing you. There's a quotation in the Bible that says that live a godly life. The moment someone sees you living a godly life, they'll be like, what does this person do? And then when they realize you worship God, they also want to worship that God and also live that life. That's how it is. It's more like you blessing people unknowingly. There are several traders that has inspired me or that has inspired you watching too as well. And what do you say about them? What do you say about them? It's more like you you are like, oh God, okay. So now like it's just amazing. I don't know. We sometimes don't realize how God actually, you know, helps our mind to see certain things. For now, I don't want this video to be too long. I just want to make it as short as possible. And if you watch it, I want you to transform your life. Be grateful for the information you've heard. This is not preaching in any way. This is just to let you know some of the things. And I'm going to draft a different script, another script, and I'll talk about an in-depth. This time around, definitely we won't be following the script because I think it's making me not to say certain things. But next time, I'm going to be myself, completely myself. Okay, I'll be myself completely, and that is going to allow me to talk and express myself. Definitely, I will not be sitting here. By the way, I will not be sitting here. I'll be sitting outside or somewhere else that is refreshing. That I can actually feel the spirit, and I'll talk about God's, presence in my life and how it has actually. This wasn't me. I actually almost became a fraudster. I actually almost became um, more like a black hat hacker. I became a hacker. I almost, well, let me say I was one, but I even inspired certain people to be one. I don't know if they are still doing it or not. I just hope they are not. And I'm saying this in public. I don't know. I can't be investigated because I didn't commit any crimes. Yeah, I tried to, but yeah, I didn't. I didn't go through with it. I just got close, but God, God's love alone said I shouldn't do it, and that was what actually pushed me not to do some of these things. So yeah, it's actually amazing that I'm still alive today and I'm able to talk about some of these things to you guys. This is just a very short information I want to talk about. This is not going to be edited. I'm not going to post it as it is. Nothing is going to be um, added to it. And yeah, so I know a lot of you are definitely going to have a lot of questions. You can put it in the comment section if you have reached this far. But if not, I I suggest you do because well,